Now, I know in car audio there are a ton of brands, but there's something to be said about partnering with a brand that has a legacy within the industry, especially one that has made its name in the car audio competition field. Today's brand is, of course, MB Quart, and joining us will be their product expert, Rob Anderson, because I'll tell you what, they're bringing back some of that old school cool, but at the same time, able to offer dealers a complete lineup of car audio components to satisfy every customer's needs. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about MB Quart, and it starts now. What's going on, guys, and welcome to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. We're talking MB Quart. You know, that tweeter, that titanium tweeter that won so many awards, myself included. They're back. I mean, they made the announcement not too long ago about bringing back some cool original speakers from Germany. But on today's episode of Connected, we're really going to break down why this brand could possibly be your next partner as far as a car audio brand is concerned. Now, Rob, what are we going to be talking about on today's show?
Well, Ben, we're going to be talking about the whole lineup of MB Quart mobile audio, from speakers, amplifiers, to subwoofers. We're going to be talking about all the solutions that we have and one that fits every customer's needs.
All right, I'm ready to do the deep dive if you are, Rob. But first, an opportunity for our partner, SiriusXM, to remind you dealers why it's always a fantastic add-on sale. And when we come back, let's go deep on MB Quart. Don't you dare go away.
Hi, Paul Truman here with SiriusXM. We reached out to some of our partners in the industry, and here's what they had to say.
I can't say more or enough about just what it means to have our unit working with SiriusXM. It's like we're there now.
The SiriusXM service is something consumers want, right? So it's Paul.
That allows a consumer to listen to either podcasts, entertainment, sports, all at their fingertips. It's all about engagement, and that's what SiriusXM provides.
SiriusXM is a huge component in a vehicle nowadays. Consumers expect that technology to be available both in our OEM system as well as the aftermarket upgrades that they're applying to their vehicle.
Alpine and SiriusXM, through our electronics, are able to offer the consumer on the aftermarket side SiriusXM 360L, which is an expanded platform for SiriusXM. And it's really been a beneficial relationship for us with SiriusXM.
As a dealer, just remember, we don't compete with anybody else. We are absolutely one of the best profitability accessories you can add to any head unit that is SiriusXM ready.
And welcome back to CMA Connected. Our feature brand today is, of course, MB Quart. Rob, if we're going to do a full breakdown, let's do what I like to do best, is start with speakers. Let's be honest, it's kind of where MB Quart made its name. And when it comes to speakers, there's a lot to offer here. So there's 4 different series that we want to cover on today's show. I guess we'll take it kind of from a bottom to top kind of way of breaking out all the series, starting with the reference series. So what can you tell us about why the reference series speakers is a great entry point for MB Quart speakers?
Well, Ben, the reference series speakers are the perfect entry point for a MB Quart audio performance out of your speakers. So let's get into it. Let's talk about first the cone and tweeter material here. So the reference series uses a bamboo style cone, and it has a titanium dome tweeter. This is a perfect point because it has everything from a 6.5 inch to a component series to 6x9s as well. This is a great speaker series, but a perfect entry level point for you as an MB Quart customer.
Well, first of all, I want to comment on the cosmetics of this speaker. Being at an entry level, I mean, they look really, really good. I love the fact that this isn't a cheap Mylar dome tweeter that you do often see at this price point. The cosmetics are really, really cool. But a question I had for you, Rob, is this speaker qualified to play on deck power, or is this one of those speakers that you absolutely need to put some aftermarket power to?
The series is absolutely could be used with deck power. Obviously, we always push people towards to give it a little more power out of it so we get the maximum performance out of the speaker, but this series is good for deck and amplified power.
All right, so there you have it, a great entry point into the catalog of speakers that MB Quart currently offers. Now, of course, we're going to step it up to that next level. And this brand, I mean, I remember when this brand first came out, I love the fact you guys brought this moniker back, and it seems like the products can back up the name. We're talking about the Discus series. So, Rob, walk us through a little bit what you gain when you step up to the Discus range of speakers.
Well, I'm excited the Discus series is back as well. This is an amazing sounding speaker at its price point. definitely on the performance level, if not a little bit better. I personally enjoy the sound quality compared to the reference series. This is the Discus, and it's back with vengeance. So we have a polypropylene cone here for some performance out of the cone in the mid bass. But then the big talking point here, compared to the reference series has a 3/4 inch titanium dome tweeter, where this has a 1-inch inverted dome aluminum dome tweeter. So this is going to give you a much different performance on the tweeter level. I appreciate the high performance out of this. It gives you nice bright crystal clear highs, and then a warm sound, full range sound out of that polypropylene cone on the mid bass. This is an amazing speaker line at a great price point. This has every speaker size that we need under the book, from 6.5 to 6.5 inch shallow coaxial speakers to component series to anything in between. If you have a speaker that needs upgrading, we have it covered in this lineup of Discus speakers.
Well, once again, Rob, I think the cosmetics speak for themselves when it comes to this Discus series. And I have to highlight here the price point. The retail price on Discus speakers, like a 6.5, for example, is just shy a little bit over $100. I mean, this is an incredible value. But at the same time, we are now getting into that territory whereby we can really optimize the sound of these speakers by adding some power. So what is the power rating, for example, for the 6.5 component set?
Absolutely. So for the 6.5 inch component series, we have a power performance of 70 watts RMS for each speaker and a peak power of 140 watts max rated power.
All right, so if you're following along, we started with the reference set, then we've gone up to the Discus, which I love the name, and now we're getting into some serious stuff now. We're talking about the premium speakers. Now, the premium speakers, definitely we're gonna see some power increases as far as handling goes, but let's take a closer look at the cosmetics and the build on these premium series speakers.
Absolutely. So the premium series is the step up from everything and to, like you said, the serious power. So let's talk about some of the specs here. So we have a 1-inch magnesium dome wide sphere tweeter technology that includes an adjustable phase lens, so we could dial in that soundstage and make it a perfect concert-like experience in your vehicle. It uses a blended cone material here that gives you maximum performance with durability. So during those situations, you're not going to have any flexing of the cone material, providing you an undistorted performance. The cool thing about this is that we utilize these not alone a la carte in our mobile section where we have sizes for every application. We also utilize these in our Jeep JL and JT kits as well. So we stand behind this product. We love the performance of this product, and it's a perfect bump up, a step down from the top line Made in Germany Q series. And this gives you that amazing audiophile performance at a decent price point as well.
All right, so now we've arrived at the apex of the lineup. And for an old school car audio fan like myself, it kind of makes me giddy that MB Quart did this. And I do encourage any other brand tuning in, hey, maybe you should look at bringing back some of that old school cool, just like MB Quart did. Of course, we're talking about the Q series. Lots to talk about here. So take your time with this one, Rob. We really want to know the details when it comes to the, well, new again Q series from MB Quart.
Well, Ben, I'm so excited that we did this and we brought this line back. One of my favorite conversations that I have at either car meets, at events, or even just trade shows is talking about the heyday, the lanes of the competition. And when they talk about that, they talk about that Q series performance. This is the infamous Made in Germany, still Q series speaker. So let's start talking about one. We have to talk about the tweeter technology. We have a 9-step progressive die tweeter material here with a titanium dome 1-inch tweeter. This gives you maximum performance, cast aluminum housing that dissipates heat, so we could get every bit of performance and sound quality out of this tweeter without minimal distortion or thermal impact. The mid bass here, man, I love the redesigned Q logo, and then the cast aluminum basket. Again, providing the overall speaker structure rigidity, and so that it could get maximum performance without frame flexing. The polypropylene blended cone here gives you a amazingly strong but warm sounding cone material, so maximum performance on that level. The nice thing about this is that from the tweeter and the mid-bass standpoint, this is exactly the same basically formula that we've been using back in the day. But then, if you're going to talk about that, you have to mention the crossover network. The Q audiophile crossover network is basically untouched, and like you remembered back in the day, one, it looks badass. Two, it's going to give you that maximum performance with a cast aluminum frame. Again, dissipating all that heat so that we could get the maximum performance out of this crossover network. One, and it also gives you an amazing install piece so that when you have an amazing install, we could show this off and show that we are rocking the MB Quart made in Germany audiophile Q speakers.
So MB Quart has gone and done it, brought back the original Q series. How about that? All right, let's shift the conversation now to power amplifiers. Of course, when it comes to MB Quart, you have two offerings, kind of like an entry level and a step up. Let's start with the Formula series of amplifiers. What is the range and what do these amplifiers have to offer?
Of course, we have to get into amplifiers, right? We talked speakers, but let's talk about the Formula line. It is a perfect entry point for our amplifier technology. It is a nice, small and compact amplifier line, a full digital class amplifier series that offers monoblock, 5-channel, 4-channel, so that we could totally build out the system the way we need with a compact, where space is always at a premium. So this is a perfect series if someone's looking to maximize that performance in a tight install a possibility here, an application. So let's talk about some details here. One of the cool things about this is that it features our DC sync on. So DC sense, DC sync is when we don't have to run a remote wire. We can actually toggle that on and off. So we could run a traditional remote wire, but then we could also it senses when the music signal is going through the RCAs to kick on the amp itself. It has high level inputs, so we can integrate into OEM systems easily. We have a low noise preamplifier circuit. This series is packed full of amazing technology at an entry level price point. This is perfect for anyone that is getting into the step up system here, where they need to maybe power their reference series, power their Discus speakers with the Formula series amplifier line.
So in my opinion, I think the Formula series absolutely represents value. It's got that clean, kind of old school look to it. But when we talk about the next series up, which is the reference series, certainly there's some extra features here, the cosmetics as well, that really step it up and make that really nice, clean, elite kind of look to them. So tell us a little bit more about these reference series amplifiers from MB Quart.
The reference series RA1 amplifier lines is the top of the line amplifier in MB Quart and perfect for powering your Q series speakers, your RW1 reference series subwoofers. These things have an amazing power output and a beautiful aesthetic and a full line of models, so it can accommodate for any installs and applications. Some talking points are we have a beautiful top mounted control panel here. So when we do our install, once we have everything in, tuning and dialing in that setup is made easily with this top mounted control panel. It has a sleek heatsink design, so we can dissipate obviously the heat that comes out of the performance of the amplifier, but then it has an amazing LED accent lighting and a fly cut logo badge. This is a stunning looking amplifier. We have everything from a monoblock, 5-channel, 4-channel, and then we're actually going to be launching and releasing 2 additional models in the reference series this fall at SEMA. We have an 1100 watt 0.4, so a bigger sized 4-channel amplifier, so we could properly power some Q series speakers, and a 1500 watt monoblock amplifier model, so we could give that 12-inch reference subwoofer a ton of power, so we get all the performance out of it. This is the reference RA1 series amplifiers.
All right, there you have it. Two different series of amplifiers to satisfy any system build that you're looking for. Now, quickly shifting over to the final piece of the puzzle, of course, we have to talk about some subwoofer options. So, when it comes to subwoofer options, two different lines to talk about, but also two different applications to solve two different problems. We're going to start first with the Discus line of shallow subwoofers.
Like we've mentioned before, these subwoofers need to cover a wide range of applications and a wide range of needs out of the customers. And one is that space is at a premium nowadays. So the Discus series DS1 subwoofer line is a shallow mount subwoofer line. So perfect for people that need to utilize a smaller airspace to get some low end performance still out of their system. It has a 8-inch and a 10-inch model. These are a beautiful aesthetically looking subwoofers, but then it gives you great performance out of a smaller airspace box as well. So the 8-inch is small as a 3/4-inch square cube box. So we could get some maximum performance out of that, where we can get it in maybe some truck installs where, man, if the cab is small, we need to get that low end performance. This is perfect for that application. It features a polypropylene dust cone, a dust cap cover, and a butyl rubble surround. So maximum performance out of a small package subwoofer.
There you have it, a great solution. If your space is a concern, you can go with the Discus shallow subs, which will obviously save you some space, but yet still have some great output on the lower frequencies. Now, moving on to when space doesn't matter, because I'll tell you what, these reference subwoofers, well, they look the part.
The RW1 subwoofers, exactly. So when space is not at a premium, where we have a little extra room here, we have the RW1 series subwoofers. These are perfect for people that are looking obviously for an SPL performance, but also they have an SQ build as well. I personally run one of these 6.5 inch in my install, but the cool thing about it is that we have a size and performance for everyone. So here we have this beautiful cast aluminum frame giving the subwoofer amazing structure, a double woven spider, but then our big magnet here, our big motor here to perform and to drive the whole driver itself, and a beautiful magnet cover here for a clean, slick install. Double stitched surround on the cone here, so giving it maximum performance. These things sound amazing, they perform amazing, and they look amazing. So this is perfect for your install. Definitely if you want a lot more low end and way more performance out of your system. So perfect for that SQ and that SPL customer.
I absolutely love the look of those speakers right there. I think they look beefy. I think there's a lot of value to that. And I mean, it doesn't matter. What I love, in fact, is the fact that you offer that same driver from a 6.5 inch all the way up to a 12. So that really opens up, different opportunities for system design. All right, wrap it up for us, Rob. When it comes to MB Quart, obviously it doesn't seem like this is a brand that's slowing down by any means in car audio. Is there anything that you could hint at what we could see coming down the pipe from MB Quart?
Well, if you're headed to SEMA this year, you're definitely going to stop by our booth. We're outside or inside. We have a small booth inside, but definitely come out to the outside booth and we'll show you some maybe sneak peeks at some Discus shallow woofers, maybe some additional reference series amplifier lines, and much more. We're super excited to be growing and expanding in the space. And we hear you guys. We're here, and we're ready to make sure that our brand is performance driven and is what you guys remember back in the heyday. So we're here, and we're ready to make our presence known. So thank you again for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in the next one. And we love this, and we love the mobile audio scene. So if you want to find out more information, check out mbquart.com. Follow us on socials, and we'll see you in the next one.
And that was MB Quart product expert Rob Anderson joining us for a full breakdown on the current offering from MB Quart in the car audio space. As Rob had mentioned, if you want to find out more details, maybe some product specs, head on over to their official website. We'll put it on the screen right now. Now, my takeaway from this is I'm starting to see a trend. MB Quart, amongst with a couple other select brands that have made a legacy for themselves for the past 30, 40 years, have kind of started to circle back to what made their name to begin with. And I think this is a direct result of the audience audience, which is car audio enthusiasts now entering a certain time in their lives where they're like, you know what, we want to revisit that experience of music in their car that they had when they were young. And I think MB Quart is on the right track. Add to that a really nice blend of different products at different price points that could really be a great partner for any car audio installation shop. That's it for this CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.